Oh my god, oh my god.
Yo, what's up, Haley? You good?
Oh, nothing. It's just my ACT scores are coming out today, and it's not like it's going to influence where I go to school, where I live, what job I get, what my future husband looks like, what my kids look like. You just don't understand. I have to get a 36, or else I won't bring honor to my Asian parents, and they said if I don't get a 36, I'm not even good enough for community college. If I don't get into Harvard or Stanford, my whole 20-year plan is ruined, and I'm not going to be able to marry a rich white boy in finance. Oh, look, my score's out. Hey guys, so I'm sure you don't want to be stuck in a situation like you just saw that past Haley go through. So if you want to improve your ACT score and possibly get a 36, stay tuned and I'll give you some tips on how to study for the ACT. So just some background, I would say I'm a pretty experienced ACT taker. I took it about 4 times, I think, and I did pretty well on them, and I ended up getting a 36 on my final test that I took. So I think I have some qualifications. I'm just kidding. I'm definitely not the best ACT test taker. I know some people who got a 36 on their first or like second try, which definitely was not me, but I would say I am a good case of, practicing enough and being down in the nitty and gritty to improve that score, like forcing my score to go up. I didn't give it a choice. So the first tip I would give to you guys is to start studying the summer before junior year or the summer after sophomore year. First of all, you just have more time in the summer usually to spend on stuff that doesn't really have to do with school. So I think this is a prime time to kind of study for the ACT without having an overload of stress. And also I say particularly before junior year, because I think junior year is the prime time to actually take the ACT test. Also, I don't really see the point of studying before that. I think that's a little overkill. I think one summer is plenty of time to learn all the material. And also, I don't think I would remember anything I studied if I studied before like sophomore year. I don't know. And to be more specific, personally, I found the best months to take the test were like November or December or maybe even October, because I felt like at that point, all the studying that you do in the summer is still kind of fresh in your mind. But then you also kind of have September and the early months of school to kind of get your brain revved up and warmed up and used to taking tests and just taking in information. Because I don't know about you guys, but in the summer, I really chilled. Like, I did very little except watch Netflix, Hulu, Love Island. Personally, I took my first ACT test the September of junior year, I think, and I ended up getting a 34 on that, and I was really happy about the score for like the first 5 minutes, but then after the initial excitement kind of wore down, I was left kind of feeling like because I felt like I would have to overcompensate with my test score to make up for my lack of extracurriculars and spikiness, or whatever you want to call it. So I ended up taking it again and again until I got a 36 in the fall of my senior year. And then the second tip I have for you guys is to take at least 1 or 2 practice tests before you actually get into like studying the material in the actual test. Personally, when I took my first practice ACT test in the beginning of the summer before junior year, I found that science was kind of my strong suit and I didn't really need that much more practice with science. So I didn't really end up studying science at all for the entire summer. And I think at the end of the day, taking these 1 or 2 practice ACT tests is going to be really good in giving you a benchmark of where your talents lie. And then the third tip I have for you guys is to get those subject-specific prep books for those subjects that you don't feel the most confident about. So personally, I'm a stereotypical Asian that has no grasp on what's actually important in life, so I study every single subject except for science because a 35 is not up to my standards. Okay, being serious now, all of you guys should get subject-specific prep books. So personally, I'll show you guys what I used. For the reading, I use the Complete Guide to ACT Reading, Ultimate Guide to the Math ACT, and the Complete Guide to ACT English. And honestly, I recommend this book so much. This was my favorite book out of all of these, if you can choose a favorite prep book. God, I'm so nerdy. Okay. Because this one was really good because it went through every single grammar thing you can think of that can show up on the ACT. And there were so many practice problems that like you can't not do good on the English after you do this. seriously. And it also gives you like a cheat sheet at the end. So right before you take the test, you can kind of like skim over it before you go into the gym. So yeah, it worked really well. And the reason why you should get these subject-specific prep books is because it's not going to be that helpful to just take practice ACT tests over and over again if you don't actually fix the underlying problem, which is not having a firm grasp of the concepts. So I think these subject-specific prep books are really good in actually going through every single concept that actually shows up on the ACT. So no matter what different format these questions come at you, you're still going to be able to answer them since you have that good foundation. And I'll also note that with these prep books, which are subject-specific, I would try to at least spend a week on each of them for like a consistent amount of time. Like I would just do the math ACT for a week or two even, and then I'll move on to the writing, to the reading, and then I'll kind of like cycle through those, because I don't think it's going to be as useful if you just spend like 1 hour on math and then 1 hour on English and 1 hour on reading. Because for me, I need to get into the zone and I kind of get into this flow state where I keep on doing one subject in particular. All of that information has time to process into my brain and everything kind of builds up on each other. For me personally, I did this whole entire ACT English prep book, like this whole thing, before I actually moved on to reading and math, because I felt like I had to get a complete understanding of the concepts in English before I could make room in my brain for other subjects. And it ended up working out pretty well for me because I felt like the information that I learned in here, I really retained well. And the third and last tip I think I have to give to you guys is after you take these prep books and study very hard with these, then I would get one of those huge like books of just a bunch of old ACT tests, and I'll just grind through those, like maybe 1 or 2 a week or every 2 weeks, honestly at your own pace. So I took a practice test every week or 2 during the summer after sophomore year, and I ended up finishing that book, I think. So it's not like you have to take a practice test every single day, which I heard some people do, which I think that's like insane. I think it's good to give your brain a rest and let it process everything you just went through. And also keep in mind when you take these practice tests, after you finish it and grade it, don't just stop there. You actually need to go through every single question that you got wrong. You can look through these prep books again and review those concepts. And honestly, I think if you actually go through every single question you get wrong and review those, I don't think you can really go wrong afterwards, and I think at that point you'll be as prepared as you can be. And I'll also note the day before I actually took the real ACT test, I would sometimes take a whole nother practice test, even if I already took that one over the summer, to just kind of review in my brain and kind of get my brain warmed up so it's not kind of shocked when I go into the gym the next day and I'm met with all these like bubbling questions. So that's the end of the video. I think this is going to be a little short, but I hope you still found it helpful, and hopefully it helps you guys finesse that ACT and get a 36. And I really hope you guys do. Please tell me in the comments below if you do get a 36 and I'll heart it and be like, yay. But yeah, that's going to be the end of the video today. And if you liked this video and found it helpful, please comment and like on this video, and please subscribe and touch like the bell, whatever, so you can be notified when I upload another video. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
So destroy the evidence, leave not a trace, burn it in paper trash. That way they can deny possessing the illegal